So remember the way the Fever said they had a plan when it came to Temi after not protecting her in the expansion draft? Because clearly, with Grace Berger being waived, they protected Damaris Dantas. And they chose Temi over Dantas. Or sorry, Temi over Grace. Which is a very interesting thing. Their whole plan might be genius. And again, I don't know about the ins and outs of a lot of these contracts. But it's looking more and more likely that Temi does not come over to the Valkyries to start the WNBA season. If she was going to, that first Valkyries, she'd be signed by the Valkyries. And because she is a restricted free agent, other teams can make offers. Like, other teams can make offers for her, and like her team can match. But at the same time, who knows if the Valkyries are going to even want her in July? And Britain qualified for EuroBasket. With Britain qualifying for EuroBasket, there is a possibility that she does not come over till July. And what does that mean for the Fever? The Fever, if they sign a minimum player as their 11th spot, will have roughly, like, they sign a minimum player, they've got something like 115,000. So they sign a minimum player at 66,000. It gives them like 50,000 for a half a season to pay for somebody. In and around what Temi's worth. They have the opportunity to still bring Temi back. Because the Valkyries, again, she signed nothing with the Valkyries. She signed no offer sheets. And if she does not come back to the W to start the season, obviously I think she's gotten the qualifying offer. But there's, I don't know what way that works if she doesn't start the season. Like, I don't think she's not signed anything, as far as I'm aware. I think they've offered something to Temi. I don't think Temi signed anything with them. There is a non-zero chance, which again, it's unlikely, but it's not completely impossible, that Temi ends the season with the Indiana Fever. And what would that do to the Fever? It would turn the Fever into legitimate contenders on the spot. So whoever the Fever draft, Fever can draft whoever. They just got to get till the end of EuroBasket. The Fever are in a very good spot when it comes to EuroBasket because they don't have anyone playing. So, like, I can see, like, Satu not playing in EuroBasket and still playing with the Mercury. I can't see her coming back. I don't know about Niara. I don't know about Fibic. So, like, the Liberty could lose Fibic for a month in the season. The Valkyries lose their entire team for a month. And that's the thing with the Valkyries, that we don't know what the hell the Valkyries want to do. Because Solon is coming back. Linskins is coming back for EuroBasket. Van Loo's coming back for EuroBasket. Like, who knows what the hell's going to happen with the Golden State Valkyries for the Sun. Layla Khan's coming back for EuroBasket. So they're going to miss 3 weeks in the middle of the season. And then a lot of players, like Emma Mason-Man, is not coming back until after. It's looking like she's not coming back until after that. So now you've got a situation where these players it's effectively a free-for-all for some of them. Yes, Julie Van Loo, as far as I'm aware, has signed for the Valkyries. I think she's signed. Someone that hasn't signed, though, is Temi. Temi is still an unsigned player. She is a restricted free agent, so she would have signed an offer sheet elsewhere. But midway through the season, I don't know what way that works. And I've looked up every single bit of the CBA. I don't know what way her restricted free agency works. Because she is not signed with her current team, and the time to sign offer sheets is already passed with another team. Nobody signed an offer sheet this year because it would enforce 2-year contracts. But she hasn't signed with the Valkyries, which means she's still a free agent. She's still going to be a free agent to start the WNBA season. And it's looking probably, because she played through the whole of last year, and if she's playing EuroBasket, I would say she wants that month off. And that would be my prediction. Is that Temi just wants the month off between EuroBasket and or the end of her season Turkey and EuroBasket. With that, it'll allow her to play EuroBasket, play the second half of the W season, and then be an unrestricted free agent. She walks into 130k, 140k a year next year. And she's probably thinking, I'm only getting paid for half a season. I'm going to get paid a little bit. If anything, I want to go to Indiana because that will absolutely boost my brand. And the Fever need Temi. Like, if you're asking what the Fever need, it's basically Fever's needs is a rim-running center who can play defense and hit an occasional jump shot. I'm not saying Temi's a good shooter, but she's a way better shooter than she showed in the second half of the season last year. I watched her play quite a bit I watched a little bit of her playing for London Lions back in the day. Watched a little bit of her playing for Besiktas this year. Like, Temi is hitting wide open shots. She's not a horrific shooter. She's not a good shooter, but she's not like horrifically awful. She's not like I put her at like an Aaliyah Boston level shooter. Like, they will hit the occasional 3-point shot. She's probably not as good from mid as Aaliyah, but probably a bit better from 3. Either way, what the Fever need is Temi. And the fact that Temi still might be available means if I'm Indiana, fair enough, leave that cap room. Leave that cap room and leave that 12th spot. Because last year, they literally had to keep paying Celeste Taylor last year. Like, they literally had to pay Celeste Taylor to go play for the Mercury. Like, they were paying out the rest of her contract because it was protected. Just draft one player who's a stash, draft one player and have them fight it out with Jaylen Brown for that last spot in the roster. Keep 11 players and you've got 50k remaining, and use that 50k to see if you can get a second half of the season push with Temi. Because Temi off the bench, in my opinion, gives the Indiana Fever the best bench in the WNBA. You've got 2 different types of centers and power forwards in Damaris Dantas and Temi, who can come in off the bench. You've got versatile players like a Sophie Cunningham. You've got lockdown defenders like a Lexi Hull. And Sydney Colson. You've got energy. You've got everything. You've got runners. You've got shooters. You've got players that come in depending on what different situations, scenarios happen in games. And maybe this was the plan all along. Maybe the Fever knew this was going to happen, and this is why the Fever didn't protect Temi, because they knew she was going to be available second half of the season. Maybe this is the plan. Maybe this is the plan. I don't know if it is. Maybe it is. But the fact that there's still a chance, again, is the most likely situation if she comes over for her to be the Valkyries? Yes. Yes, it is. It's obviously the most likely situation. But to say that there is a 0 chance that Temi somehow comes back to Indiana, when clearly her going to Indiana is best for herself, and her going to Indiana is best for the Indiana Fever, and it's best for her brand, her money, her chance of winning, all of that is improved at Indiana. So anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know if you guys think this theory is crazy. Let me know also if this theory is just impossible. If it's impossible and someone points it in the comment section, I will pin it. But I've looked up everything on WNBA free agency. There's no not that there might be a case study or a precedent for something happening to them coming in the middle of the year, but in the CBA, there's nothing about a player who does not sign anything, whether that be the restricted contract or an offer sheet, then not coming over and coming over halfway through the year. I have no idea the precedent for that. But anyway, I'll see you guys.